Pisces, and welcome to your April 2018 love reading with Divine Love Tarot. I want to welcome you to my channel, whether it's your first time here or you're a returning viewer. I hope you enjoy this video. I hope it resonates with you. And if not, I would encourage you to watch your moon sign or your rising sign to see if those, even your Venus sign sometimes will resonate a little bit more. So if you're finding that this reading isn't clicking with you and you're looking for something or some type of other information, sometimes it's another sign in your chart that's a little bit more dominant than your sun sign. All right, guys, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into this video. Cards are already laid out, so let's go ahead and focus on the card that represents your current energy for this month, and that is the Three of Wands in reverse. Okay, so the Three of Wands in reverse can indicate that you may be experiencing delays or setbacks, okay? Something that's causing you some type of frustration, whether you're single and you're just frustrated about being single, or you're in a relationship and there's just been a lot of disappointments or just things not working out the way that you would like them to be. You know, sometimes we make plans and plans get broken, or, you know, you rekindle with a person, but it's just not going the way you thought it might go. You know, it's just basically things not working out as planned. Or also sometimes this can indicate that you are waiting on something that either is taking a while to happen, or you're not seeing the bigger picture and you're waiting on something that isn't coming. Okay, because the Three of Wands in the upright indicates waiting on your ships to come in. So in the reverse, it's like those ships are not coming, but you're still kind of waiting, right? With the three in reverse with the wands, there's some sort of stagnation here, okay? So it's like your waiting isn't really productive because it's almost like you might be being unrealistic. Now, the one thing with this card is that this is something that you're going through. You're like, it's going to get better from here, okay? So this is either something that you experienced or maybe a temporary experience. But with the Three of Wands, things are in reverse. Things are going to start looking up, okay? Moving on to the card that is crossing that, or your challenge for this month, we've got the Five of Swords in the reverse, okay? So with the Five of Swords in the reverse, that can indicate that, you know, yes, there was still something that angered you or that you're remorseful of or irritated with, but it's almost like you're tired of fighting, but at the same time you want to prove a point. You want to be right. The urge to be right is still riding you. So it's like if you're in a relationship and you are, maybe you've given someone a second chance, and I'm just pulling this out of the air. You've given someone a second chance, but they are not exhibiting any change. So it's almost like you waiting for them to get better, but they're not getting better, and you're curbing your tongue because you want to say, see, I told you so, nothing has changed, you're still doing the same thing. Where sometimes we have to have a little bit of patience when we want to see different results, right? So it's almost like you're really fighting that urge to be right about something, to just get that one last word in, right? With the Two of Swords, it can also indicate that you're willing to risk your happiness at the point, just to prove that point, just to say, you know what, I told you so, look it, I'm always right. And you know, sometimes being right isn't always conducive to our relationships or conducive to our happiness, so you want to be careful about that. Okay, if you're single, then it's like you're trying not to feel these negative emotions and feelings and conflict with yourself about still being single. Okay, so it's like you're waiting for something to happen, and as you're waiting for your situation to change, you're being challenged with this feeling of, oh, you know, things never go my way. You know, I knew it. I knew things wouldn't work out. It's just that negative mindset. So you want to be careful of that also. All right. Moving on to the past position, you get the Hangman in reverse. Okay, so for some of you in your past, you might have been dealing with another Pisces, okay? For others, the Hangman in reverse can indicate a time where you had a decision to make, okay? And maybe you did a little self-sacrificing, or you felt like you had to sacrifice or give up something, you know, that you wanted, or you sacrificed your feelings to please another person and left you feeling like a victim, right? That's that victim mentality. This can also indicate that you were maybe even focused on just having a happy ending and ignoring like the red flags or ignoring the actual reality, which is basically kind of what you're doing still in this Three of Wands situation where you're waiting for something that may not even happen. So be careful. If you're dealing with something and you're not being realistic, you can't wait for something that's never going to happen. So make sure you're not doing that, okay? This can also indicate being stubborn. Sometimes when I see the Hangman, to me, it's a sign of someone being stubborn. It's like you want what you want and you're going to hold out no matter what. And it seems like, you know, the deck has found another card to say, hey, look, you're still kind of being stubborn here. All right. So moving on to your future, we get the Lovers. Great. So in the future, you're going to get to a point where if you're in a current relationship, then you and the person, you guys are actually going to move onto that same page where the romance and the passion and everything is flowing in the relationship. At least it's going to be flowing for you, okay, Pisces? Your stagnation and all this doubt and everything that's going on here is going to move into a more positive phase, and you're going to be feeling better about love and romance in general. For some of my Pisces, this may also indicate that you may have a Gemini that's coming into your life, okay? Or someone who is a soulmate, someone who you connect with on a deeper level, someone who, you were meant to be with. You guys are coming together because there's a reason for you guys being together, okay? The Lover's card doesn't indicate long-term commitment or a commitment, but it does indicate someone who's special. This is not going to be just an average relationship or just another person coming into your life, okay? Now, moving on to what you want, we have the Queen of Swords. So for some of my Pisces, I feel like this is an ongoing thing. It's like you may not want a relationship right now. Some of you guys are not necessarily interested, and maybe because you haven't gotten what you wanted yet, whoever is in your current environment, you're kind of trying to put them into the friend zone because you're just like not ready to move anywhere with them. For others of you, the Queen of Swords can represent that you want a partner that's a little bit more intellectual, or you would like a little bit more intellectual stimulation in your relationship, okay? Some of you may be drawn to someone who's a Libra, Virgo/Libra, because that's what the Queen of Swords can represent. But it also can indicate guarding your heart, okay? So you may be toughening up, or you may feel like you need to toughen up in this situation. So there's some level of either distrust or contempt, or there's something going on either in your relationship or your past relationship, or right now it's causing you to feel like you have to be a little bit more tough and stern in your love life, okay? Internally, you are experiencing the Hermit in reverse. So that is that tendency to want to withdraw, to want to take that time and space for yourself to contemplate, not really wanting to deal with anybody. Maybe you want to withdraw from your partner because you feel like you're not being satisfied, or you're not satisfied with the situation. For my singles, you're definitely, really sitting back and saying, okay, what's really going on now? Okay, why am I still single? Or why hasn't things worked out? Or why hasn't this person that I had my eye on made a move? Things aren't really going the way I want them to. You just kind of want to, crawl into a little hole somewhere and be alone. So internally, that's what you're dealing with. For some of my Pisces, though, this can indicate that your mind may be focused, or your feelings are focused on someone who might be from the past, okay? So there may be a relationship, possibly even this, one where you felt like you sacrificed, or maybe this Pisces, if you dealt with a Pisces in the past, but there's a relationship that is really at the core of your feelings right now that is taking up focus and attention. All right. So for some of you, you definitely have someone from your past on your mind. Moving on to the advice for the reading, we get the Queen of Cups. So, Pisces, even though you want to be the Queen of Swords, right, or you want to kind of bring things down to a more airy, cool, intellectual level, the advice for this reading is to actually be more loving, okay? With the Queen of Cups, you need to listen to your intuition. You need to learn how to connect to your true feelings. Make sure that you're expressing your true feelings and emotions and you're not tamping them down or hiding them and gaining control of your emotions. So if your emotions are all over the place, you kind of need to, say, okay, take a deep breath. Let's focus. Okay, let's recenter. But you want to allow your love to flow. Okay, this is not the time for you to pull back, even though you want to. Now is not the time to hide your love. You need to try to be vulnerable, okay? Because that's how we bring more love to us, is by showing love, which comes naturally. But when we go through experiences that hurt us or have us feeling doubtful, right? Because the Hermit in reverse can also indicate that you're feeling a little bit doubtful about things right now. And when we're feeling that way, we tend to want to close off. But in order to bring this love into our life, we have to show love. And, if you're dating someone and you don't trust them and you want to withhold your love, then you shouldn't be dating that person. Okay? If you're dating someone that's making you hold back your feelings and emotions, then you need to really reevaluate that situation, because you shouldn't be in an intimate relationship with someone who makes you feel like you don't want to share those feelings with them. Does that make any sense? That's like counterproductive to even being in a relationship. So be careful. And I always say, don't let your heart get hard. Don't let disappointments and frustrations allow you to harden up, because that's going to keep that love that you want from coming to you. All right. Now, moving on to the external factor in this situation, and we get the Ten of Swords. I'm sorry, the Ten of Wands. So with the Ten of Wands, if you're in a relationship, your partner may feel like they are shouldering all of the weight of the effort and the burden in this situation. So even though you may feel frustrated and you're waiting on something, your partner may feel like they've done all they can do. And so you guys may be at a stalemate right now, because you are waiting for something to happen. They feel like, and nothing happens unless they do it. And so no one's being satisfied in the situation. So there seems to be some type of miscommunication, and you want to just have that conversation to make sure that you guys get back on the same page, because sometimes it's simple. Sometimes it's just a perspective, right? You have one perspective, they have another, and nothing's happening in the middle, when all you need to do is have a conversation. Because if you're both feeling the same way, or if you're being a spoiled brat, or if you're, just sitting back and waiting for somebody to prove themselves to you, and they feel like they keep proving themselves and proving themselves, and you're still not satisfied, and you're still waiting for something else. You're waiting for, what are you waiting for? Because they're tired. So you better make sure that you're not wearing somebody out with unrealistic expectations, okay? And that's been a theme before, and that's been something that, in these Pisces readings has come out. Let's not be unrealistic and expect something from someone who cannot give it to you. If you know you're dealing with someone who is not intellectual by nature, then you have to be patient with them if that's what you want in your relationship. You can't just wake up one day and say, dude, why don't you quote Einstein more for me? If you, and I'm just being silly, but it's like, if you know that everyone has their strong suit, if you're dealing with someone whose strong suit is not being intellectual, then you can't just say, hey, I need a little bit of intellectual stimulation, and feel like they're going to just start tap dancing and all of a sudden be a scientist for you. So you have to be patient when you want changes in a relationship, but also you can't ignore the fact that both people in this relationship may want something. Because I see the Six of Pentacles here, and the Six of Pentacles is about someone having the upper hand or someone gaining more from the situation than the other, okay? So right now, your partner or the person that you are interested in, or whoever, is feeling like they are basically shouldering all the weight of this relationship. Now, for some of my Pisces, on the outside looking in, some people may see that of you, okay? So, and this either or will resonate. You'll know it when you hear it. But on the outside looking in, your friends and family or whoever may see that you are putting in all the work and maybe self-sacrificing everything in this relationship, and nothing is coming from it, right? You're waiting for something to happen, it's nothing, and you're trying not to be angry. You're trying not to fight, okay? You're trying not to feel like, you were right about this person all along, but it's there, okay? So once again, it's like, all right, you need to follow your instincts and your intuition and make sure that, either you're not giving too much to a situation that doesn't warrant it, or that you're not expecting too much in a situation and not really playing your part. Okay, because your hope or your fear here in this situation is that there is an imbalance in the love situation. Okay, when we see the Six of Pentacles, yes, it's about equitable relationships, but at the moment, someone is getting more, someone is giving more, and someone has the upper hand. Okay, so for some of my Pisces, it's like this is going to go either way. Either you want to gain the upper hand in the situation and you want to get more from your partner, or some of you feel like, I'm sorry, some of you need to give more and you know it. Okay, you know it, and you fear that because you're not doing your part, you're afraid of how the outcome is going to be. Okay, and we go to the outcome and we have the Six of Wands in reverse. Six of Wands in reverse can indicate a hollow victory. Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, you proved your point, you're right, but guess what? Your partner is stressed out. Your partner feels like this relationship is a burden. They're not in the most positive place right now. So is it always a victory to be right? No, it isn't. Okay, and sometimes we have to make sure that we're not focusing on the wrong things. Okay, it's not about being right, it's about taking your relationship to the next level, or to where it wants to be. And you right here, you're going towards the Lovers, but you're not going to get there with an unbalance of time and effort and emotion. Okay, you're not going to get there holding back from this other person. Yeah, that sometimes works. We know there is balance in relationships. Sometimes you hold back and you see how much the other person is going to come towards you. But if you've been doing that for too long, or if you've been doing that too much, this other person is going to get tired. Okay, the Six of Wands for some of my Pisces can also indicate a purely sexual relationship. So if you're in a sexual situation with somebody, but you're waiting for that to go to commitment, you might be waiting for a long time, because in the outcome of this reading, those feelings are still purely sexual. Okay, the Six of Wands can also indicate that you're feeling fearful. Okay, you're feeling fearful about the state of your love life or the state of your relationship. And once again, we know that the part that we play in our relationships, right? It's either whether we're making a wrong decision about the type of person we want to be with or who we're with, or we are not doing or playing our part in a relationship, and that's where the fear and the doubts will come in. Okay, so some of you guys are really feeling fearful, but you know what? As long as you are present and active and you focus on keeping the love alive in this situation, this Lover's card is here for you. Okay, so just follow the advice of the reading. Connect to your intuition. Your intuition will let you know if you're wasting your time on someone, if this person is right for you or not. Your intuition will also let you know when it's time to be a little bit more loving, be a little bit more caring, okay? Be a little bit more romantic. All right? You want romance, you have to give romance. You can't sit back and say, well, I'm not doing anything, and then think somebody's going to be, excited to be romantic with you, because with the Six of Wands, anytime there's a wand in reverse, there's a lack of energy, there's a lack of passion, there's a lack of stagnation. I mean, there is stagnation. There's no lack of it. There's stagnation there. All right, Pisces. So that is your reading. From here on, I'm going to go into the clarifiers. So if you're interested in seeing more about this reading, the little eye icon will explain to you how to purchase the extended reading. Okay, guys? I hope this reading did resonate with you. If it did, let me know, and I will see you guys next month. All right, Pisces, take care.